May I say what a pleasure it is to serve under your chairmanship, Sir David, and may I congratulate the Honourable Member for Grimsby for securing this very important debate, and may I also congratulate all members for the powerful words that they've used this morning, and whilst I'm not uncomfortable, unfortunately, with the language used by the Honourable Friend, because I too am now normalised to hearing such words as most people are in society, unfortunately. Like many others who've spoken here today, I share the views that crimes motivated by prejudice and hostility should always be considered to be hate crimes. In England and Wales, we are currently seeing figures of hate crimes increasing year on year, but this is partly due to better recording and an upsurge in victims coming forward. In 2016-2017, over 80,000 incidents were recorded when victims were considered to have been targeted due to their race, religion, sexual orientation, disability or transgender identity. But what about the crimes that are committed as a result of hatred or of prejudice because someone of their gender? Surely sexual discrimination, violence against women and sexual objectification are all hate crimes. All too often society and the legal system continue to trivialise these acts of abuse, and there is a long overdue need for a change in the law so that misogynistic acts are treated as the serious hate crimes they actually are. I certainly will.
Looking forward to the publication of Lord Brackadale's review on hate crime legislation in Scotland, which is considering whether gender should in fact be made a new category of hate crime.
Thank you, Sir David. I welcome any information coming forward which helps us to hammer this point home. All too often, the recent rise in cases of upskirting is a prime example of where these crimes are being played down. It is vitally important that this behaviour is seen for what it is. It's not a bit of fun or a harmless prank. It's humiliating for victims, a huge invasion of their privacy, and it should be made illegal. I apologise if I'm echoing. Me in stereo. A recent sex discrimination law review by the Forces Society found that violence against women and girls is endemic in the UK and concluded that the legal system is failing these women as in need of fundamental reform. The evidence they gathered is deeply disturbing, highlighting that incidents of violence, abuse and harassment of women are increasing, whilst access to justice for victims remains poor. The review's recommendations outlined a need to change the law so that women can be confident in reporting crimes against them. For women who have been raped should not be forced to divulge their own sexual history. Laws on sexual harassment in the workplace need to be strengthened in order to protect women from third parties, customers and service users, as well as from colleagues. Breaches of domestic abuse orders should be classed as criminal offences, and the definition of revenge porn needs reviewing and strengthening. Any incident which is motivated by or perceived to be motivated by a prejudice should be considered a hate crime. I welcome the progress that we have seen in recent years within our legal system on the detection, reporting and prosecution of hate crimes based on the 5 currently centrally motivated strands: race, religion, sexual orientation, disability and transgender identity. But this progress also highlights the glaring omission of criminal offences motivated by other characteristics such as age, appearance and specifically gender-based crime. And to go to appearance, I personally have become the subject of abuse purely because I'm of a larger size and probably to some people wear garish clothes. I feel comfortable in myself and in my appearance, but others seem to take pleasure in homing in on the fact that I'm not a size 8, but that is their problem, not mine. Now, I'm aware that some forces have already started taking action, and as we have heard from the Honourable Member for Ashfield, in 2016, Nottingham Police extended their definition of hate crime to include misogynistic incidents for a trial 2-month period. But the success of the trial has not only seen them keep the change in place, It's drawn interest from other forces around the country, including North Yorkshire Police, who publicised in July 2017 their intention to record misogyny as a hate crime. However, despite this being a positive step forward, these local initiatives are just that, local, and they are not centrally monitored. So we need to see amendments to existing legislation or, at the very least, non-legislative changes to the list of centrally monitored hate crime characteristics to include sexual discrimination as the sixth strand. Misogyny is a hate crime. It is a crime motivated by hostility, and it needs to be treated in exactly the same way as other hate crimes. It is now time for action, and it's now time for victims to be given fair treatment.